Yeah, I'm good to go.
All right. Trey was just saying how the trash talk on the road can kind of be seen as a compliment, or that's kind of what he's trying to reiterate to you guys as you head into your first road test. What can you say about that and how you guys are kind of preparing for what you're about to hear in a sold-out all-orange arena?
I feel like that's just people showing their passion for the team they represent. So, it ain't nothing personal. We know it's basketball. That's how they show their competitive spirit. So we excited for it. It's going to be fun, just being in that atmosphere, playing in that competitive environment. I feel like it's going to bring the best out of all of us.
Trey said some of the last couple practices, maybe not as many wall sits as before, but Coach Cal's maybe put some caps on the rim, focus on rebounding. What's kind of been like that? Is that something you've ever really seen before in your career?
I don't remember, but we've been definitely doing a lot of rebounding stuff, just making sure we make contact, just stuff like that. A lot of contact, rebounding drills, just making sure Coach been emphasizing, how important it is for us to rebound and how important rebounding is to the team. So we've been doing a lot of rebounding drills.
Obviously, rebounding is normally for some of the bigger guys, but you're one of the shorter guys on the team.
Yeah.
What so makes you such a good rebounder, and why is it so important to you?
I feel like the most important thing is just making sure you box out first. That's what Coach been teaching us. So that's something I've been learning, just to box out first, and that's how you get the rebounds. That if you box out, the ball gonna come to you. You can't just chase the ball first. So that's something I've been learning.
What have you seen out of Florida on tape this week?
They a very good team in transition. They play fast like us, and they're a very good offensive rebounding team. So that's something important, just rebounding, because they crash the boards a lot, and they're a very physical team.
With the kind of the road environment, have the coaches talked to you at all over this past week about what to expect to hear, all that kind of stuff?
They ain't get too in detail about it, but they said it's different on the road. It's a road game, it's conference play now, league play, so it's a different ball game now. But we still got prepared the same, just treat it like every other game, but we just got to focus a little bit more. So they talked about it, but not too in depth about it.
I asked Trey the same question. What are you looking forward to most about SEC play?
Just competing. I feel like that's where you play your best at, when you compete in the most, and that competitive environment. So I feel like we all excited just to get out there and finally play against teams in our conference, just to show what we could do and play against other great teams.
Are there any guys on maybe some other teams or maybe a game that you're looking forward to most?
None for me specifically. I'm ready to play against everybody. I'm just looking forward to play each game. And every time we get out there to play, we always enjoy it. So we all excited.
You guys had 8 days off, and then Illinois State, and then 8 days off again before a game. Do you like that kind of schedule, or would you rather have a couple games on either end of that?
I prefer playing back-to-back, so games closer, because it's like when the games are so far away, but it could get get you a little impatient because you're ready to play the next game, but at the same time, it helps us prepare a lot more. We get them 8 days to prepare and get more rest, so in a way it's kind of helpful for us, but I feel like personally I prefer to play games back-to-back, but they definitely helped us prepare a lot more each game, even from learning different stuff from each game that we need to work on. We had a lot of time to work on it, so they was helpful for us.
As you guys head into the SEC from non-conference play, what's something that you learned in the non-conference play that you're going to take and use in the SEC play?
Just that every game is just as important as the last game. No matter what team you playing, no matter who you playing, every team going to give us their best shot. So every game we got to be prepared the same, and we got to play like it's a championship.
I know you weren't out there, but how much did UNC Wilmington kind of drive that home for everybody on the team?
A lot. Just showing how great of a team they was, how many great players they had, just how hard they played, I say. Just showed us, how hard each game was going to be and how our approach was going to have to be to each game.
I don't think we've asked you yet, but how difficult was that for you, the competitor that you are, to have to sit there and watch that, knowing that, if you were healthy, you probably could have made a difference there?
Pretty hard for me, not even in that aspect, just not being able to play at all. I just love to play the game, but I feel like, I had a lot of trust in my teammates, and I had a lot of confidence in my teammates. So when it comes to that part, I wasn't really worried. But when it comes to the basketball part, of course I wanted to play, but winning, I wasn't really worried because I'm confident in my teammates.
Kind of to piggyback off that, obviously you played a couple games since then, but how's the ankle? How are you feeling? Obviously, I know you like to play back-to-backs, with 8 games off. How are the guys mentally and physically feeling heading into this game?
I'm feeling good. My ankle feel a lot better. A lot more healthy. And the guys, we've been able to get a lot of rest. Like you said, through this break, we've been able to get a lot of rest, but also a lot of working and a lot of shots up. So I feel like we all confident. We all feeling good coming into the game.
Anything else for DJ?
I think that's it.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Trey, is the light too bright or is it good?
No, I'm all right. I'm just not looking to it.
Cal seemed a little displeased with the rebounding after the last game, team rebounding. What has he gone back to covering the rims and wall sets, or what's been the practice situation?
Yeah,
Really?
we've gone back to the rim covering. He's lightened up on the wall sits a little bit though, but that's just part of the game. It happens, but it's something we have to focus on moving forward.
With the rim covering, what is that like? Does that change your approach? Does that change the way you guys think?
I mean, the ball's not going in, so then the only way you score is by rebounding. So it's like you just got to fight for the rebound, and it has to be more important to you. So it just kind of emphasizes rebounding and boxing out.
Big road test, especially for the freshmen. What are some of the things that you and some of the older guys have been telling them about what this experience is going to be like, what to prepare for?
Just you got to expect to hear absolutely everything and anything. People are invested in trying to get in people's minds, but something that I try to tell the guys is there's a reason behind it. Like when somebody's trying to get you out of your game and get you out of your way, there's a reason. There's something they fear that you're capable of. So even though it sounds like hate, when you really think about it, it's love at the end of the day because they're so invested in what you're doing.
Obviously, you kind of been around the block, played a lot of A-10 games, the Big 12. What are you most excited about the SEC?
Just to kind of experience all the arenas. I'm more excited for the away games. I've experienced Rupp and I love it, but I know that wearing this name across your chest brings a whole nother level to fan bases. There's going to be arenas where people don't show up for the team all year, and just because we're coming to town, it's sold out. So, it's part of the territory, and I'm looking forward to it.
Are you prepared for that, or have you talked to Tone or any of the coaches about? Because I know you've walked into Big 12 arenas, West Virginia, Texas, but it is different.
Yeah, it's definitely different, but I'd say as far as my experiences, I don't think it's gonna be any worse than it was playing for Chris Beard and going back to Texas Tech for that first time, because that was an unbelievable environment, and I really don't think that there's going to be many arenas that get louder than that place. It's like an hour before the game and you can't hear anything. It was an insane experience because it was like before the ball even went up, we're lined up getting ready to do jump ball, and it wasn't too loud, and then the ref blew that whistle before he threw it up, and it's like they started screaming, your head was shaking. It was an insane experience, but I've seen it all, so it's nothing I probably haven't dealt with before.
Back to the rebounding. Obviously, we all know it's been a little bit of a struggle. Florida probably not the best team to play if you're struggling rebounding-wise. What have you guys maybe seen from them that makes them so special, and why they're one of the best in the country?
Just the way that they play. They always have some dudes near the hoop, so they're already in position to get those offensive rebounds. They're not little by any means. They have some older dudes and they have some experience, but they try to play fast, and you can see that. But on top of that, they're physical and they get after it. So our guys know that. We've been focused on that this past few days that we've been preparing for them, and we'll see how it goes when we get there.
You just said they're not little. You guys now have some height. What is it going to take to win this game? What's going to have to be the standout factor?
I think the biggest portion is definitely keeping them off the offensive boards. They're one of the top teams in the country when it comes to that. So that's a point of emphasis for us, because if we can control that glass and get out in transition, those leaving people close to the hoop, that leaves us an opportunity to get out and run. So.
You mentioned how fast they play. I think the only team in the league with a higher tempo than you guys. Do you expect some of these teams to try to slow it down when they play you, even if they've played fast to this point, by just looking at film and saying, I don't know if we can run with these guys?
You know, you never know. I would probably assume that a lot of teams are going to take an approach, and it's like, let's play our game type of thing and not try to change anything up. But you never know what's going on in coaching staffs and what they think is the best plan of action for them.
What's your preference? Do you like playing that fast style that you guys have?
Oh yeah. I think that with the depth we have, the guys we have, the speed we have on our team, why would we slow it down for anybody?